In this video, I want to talk about the nature versus nurture argument in relation to crimes. This is a topic which has been explored many times over the years, but I would like to take a look at it in a way that helps bettering our understanding. According to the Ministry of Justice, the UK holds 123 prisons with 87% of those filled by male offenders. Also, a significant proportion of prisoners have mental health issues. Bearing that in mind, if you believe that people are inherently born criminals, you are on the nature side of the topic. This means that you think that people are genetically prone to be deviant and there is nothing to be done about that. The same type of thinking can be applied to being rich, educated, beautiful, artificionado or a rowing champion amongst others. And we all know that it takes more than a genetic marker to make you rich or a sprinter. Meanwhile, if you believe that nurture plays a role in the matter, you may think that there are too many variables that push people to commit crimes. Those variables are outside of people's control and affect who they are and their behavior in relation to crime. That said, scientists tell us that people who are born in environments where there is higher crime rates will be more likely to be a victim of crime or break the law. Of course, not everyone who lives in a crime hotspot or have criminal parents becomes a criminal. And not everyone can anyway. For example, if you have mental disabilities or you are physically disabled, you may not be capable of breaking the law. The socioeconomic background, demographic, the cultural context and so on, must be taken into account when considering the argument of nature versus nurture. So, some of the stresses that individuals who commit crimes must deal with include lack of opportunities to be successful, family problems, health issues, a deep sense of unfairness and social dissatisfaction due to the conditions in which they live in, amongst other stresses. By doing so, people may gain a sense of belonging and accomplishment which helps them adapting to their environments. Basically, they learn how to cope with living in a tough environment. What we should remember is that someone's behavior is shaped by the environment in which they live. Ergo, the nature of those variables influences people's behavior. There is a feeling of uneasiness when I hear about people adamantly branding criminals as the genetically defective. Indeed, the nature argument is linked to eugenics, and in many ways there are some ethical and moral issues that lays in the foundation of this way of thinking. That said, there are no available tests that have clearly proven that criminality is in human genes. However, science shows that depraving a child from a nurturing environment will be mentally damaging for that child. Thus, a mistreated child may not understand how to function in a way that is socially acceptable. Worst, that child can become disabled or lack the skills to integrate into society. This is why that child may display behavior that tend to lean toward criminality. Another aspect of the nature versus nurture argument to consider is who carries out the sentences and who is labeled as criminals. For example, in the UK on the 1st of April 2024, 89.6% of court judges and 87% of tribunal judges were white. Asian people made up 5.3% of court judges and 7.4% of tribunal judges, whilst black people made up 1.3% of court judges and 1.7% of tribunal judges. The result of this is that black people are more likely to have higher sentences compared to their white counterparts, and they are overly represented in the judicial system. Mind you that there are only 4% of black people living in the UK. Meanwhile, white people are the most prolific offenders, with a staggering 81.7% of people incarcerated being white. The crimes for which they go to prison range from computer misuse to violence, including homicide. To conclude, judging people for their crimes is one thing. But we should remember that criminality does not happen in a vacuum. There are many elements that most people must navigate in order to get the best possible outcomes in life. This includes but is not limited to upbringing, family background, access to education, culture, physical and mental well-being and so on. That's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe as more are on their way. If I feel like it, of course. Bye for now.